Being an effective leader means that you need to earn the trust of your employees with the 4 types of their intuition, looking for clues to see that you are genuine and that you really care for their success. Some of the clues that the 4 types of their intuition will pick up on are you sharing your journey, inspiring others to take action, using your intuition to move through your fears, and not being afraid to fail. These clues were exactly what David Dame experienced when he finally trusted his intuition to get up from his wheelchair to walk on the beach, feeling the sand in between his toes, taking the first amazing step into the ocean, and falling headfirst into the water.
My wife and I went on vacation and we went to a beach. And for many years, I would always sit at the edge of the beach looking out into the water and wondering what if. For that day, for whatever reason, I knew that day was going to be different. I wanted to know what it would be like to see the world from that perspective in the water on the lake. So I had to make a decision that today I was going to do the walk to it. But like all of us, we get those voices in our head, right, of you can't do it, what if you look stupid, what if you have all those fears and anxieties that really limit us in society. Because really, when you're in organizations even, it's just a microcosm of society. So I had to overcome the fear and the worry about looking foolish to have my friends walk me onto the beach. And it was great because it was my first time in my life, even though I did some walking, that my bare feet hit the sand. And I still remember how beautiful that sand felt caressing my feet. But when we went to do the walk, I got about 10 steps in, and then my biggest fear happened was I fell. And the minute you fall, you kind of see everybody gather around you and you're scared because you did fall. You weren't expecting to be looking up into the sky. And I had 2 choices. I could have either got back up and went into my chair where I've spent the rest of my life, or I could get back up and continue to walk to the water, to experience being in the ocean for the very first time. The story would have been ended if I just went back to my chair. But I continued to get up and walk, and I fell a couple more times. But after the first time, getting back up was easier. And really, you went from a fall to a stumble to get where you needed. And what I learned is, like everything in a journey, when you're focusing on the steps, you don't realize how far you came. It wasn't until the water got to about my mouth, I thought I better turn around. And when I turned around, I didn't realize how far I came because I was always focused on just the next step. So that lesson taught me to always look how far I've come to motivate how I want to go. When I got back, there was an older gentleman that I seen stumble in the walker as he went to the water. And, I seen him stumble, get his way there. When he was coming up, he goes, I did it too. And then I go, oh, I'm glad I could inspire you by making it into the water. He goes, no, it wasn't that. He goes, I figured if you could fall and look dumb, so could I. So what it taught me as a leader was people aren't always inspired by your success. They're inspired by the grit and the resilience to get back up and keep trying. And because we're all afraid to fail, we only talk about our success. What it's taught me as a leader is to share my failures and mistakes too.
The leadership lessons David experienced made him a more effective leader, with him continuing to share this story as a lesson for others. Steve Sims also shares a number of lessons with others when he speaks on stages around the world, telling them that being yourself is way more important than trying to fit in or chase metrics that move you away from being your authentic self. Steve learned this the hard way, with him talking about the time he felt fake at an event that he put on and was about to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone in this video.